Good morning, my lovelies. Today, we swap out a taillight. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we are going to be removing the rear taillight, which is a super easy thing to do. You might be asking yourself, well, why are you showing how to do this? Well, if you are switching to aftermarket taillights, this is certainly something you need to know how to do. And of course, if you need to change a bulb that burned out, it's also good to know. All you need to do this, you may or may not need some needle nose pliers. You will need a 10mm socket bit and either a socket wrench, or I'm going to be using my new battery powered ratchet, which I love. I cannot believe I waited so long to buy this thing. As usual, links for all of these things are down in the description below. For the second gen taillights, there are just three 10mm bolts you need to remove. First one down here on the bottom, second one right above it, and then the third right here on the top above the latch for your tailgate. These are all identical except the second one from the bottom is sort of flanged with a washer on it. Keep that in mind when you reinstall it. Of course, when you remove these, there's probably going to be a ring around this where the washer was sitting anyway, so it'll be easy to locate. And for the first step, all you need to do is go ahead and remove all three of those bolts. Shouldn't take too much to get them off. And I just dropped that one through my tailgate. Try not to do that. At this point, you can see the taillight is a little loose. There's a little play in it. It's just being held in by a few tabs in here. So what you do, and just be careful when you do this. So like I've got a steel rear bumper. You don't want to get this loose and have it come loose with you not expecting it and then scratch, because this plastic is pretty fragile. So really what you want to do, grab it on the bottom and the top and sort of pry it backwards. I actually like to grab the corner down here and then sort of from the top and just shimmy it backwards. Again, just be prepared for when it breaks loose, because it will pop just a little bit. And pull straight back. There's one of the tabs, and there's the other. At this point, just sort of shake it. There you go. Again, I've got my fingers under here because my bumper is steel and the bottom of this would easily scratch. So my fingers are sort of acting like a pad, so just keep that in mind. Another quick thing to point out, these wires, let me set the camera down. These wires up here, which are for the side turn signal, mine sort of got wrapped around the back of this tab right here, so just be aware of that. Do not pull this out too hard, because if your wires were wrapped around just like mine, you might rip them out. Definitely want to avoid doing that, because that'd be a costly repair. At this point, you can see if you just need to swap a bulb, you can, detach any of the three bulbs, the turn signal on the top, the brake lights in the middle, and reverse right there on the bottom. They just twist out. You can swap in the new bulb. If you are swapping in new taillights, you of course need to remove everything and get this whole taillight assembly free. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and remove the turn signal at the top. If you're looking at the back of the taillight, you can see to loosen it, it does rotate counterclockwise until it clicks. Just be careful when you're pulling it out so you try not to get any dirt or anything on the bulb. There's that. I'm just going to let these hang loose. If it's super filthy back here, you might want to wrap the bulb in tape or something just to protect it. Next up for the brake light, again counterclockwise. Pop. Now for the brake light, and I'm just sort of propping the taillight with my body here, there is a harness right here you need to remove. It's not just a bulb, so you can pinch that down with, if you can do it with your fingers, that's great. If not, you might need to use the pliers. And that usually pulls right out. The harness right here, if you are completely removing the taillight, you can see right here, there's a little tab that's holding it in place, so you may be able to push that through with your fingers. If not, just grab your needle nose pliers, compress it just a little bit, and it should come loose. And then you can just pop it through, just like that. At this point, I know there's sort of wires and stuff everywhere in the way. All that's left is the reverse light, which again, twist it counterclockwise and that'll come right out. My reverse bulbs are aftermarket and they are a little longer, so it's sort of tricky to get those out because there's really not a lot of play here in the wires. But there's that. I probably got to clean that off now. A little dirt got on it. And at this point you can see everything's loose. There's just a tab right here that's holding the wrapped wires, so you can just slide that out. Again, be careful so you don't get that caught on anything and get it ripped. It is sort of stubborn. You sort of have to twist and pull at the same time. And at this point you are completely done. You can see the old taillight is removed, and if you are swapping a new one in, all you have to do is just reverse the steps. Again, just be super careful. Maybe even wrap the outside of the taillight with like saran wrap or maybe a blue painter's tape just to protect it, because this stuff does scratch pretty easily. If you've been off-road, you probably got some branch whip marks on there or something like that. So just keep that in mind if you are reinstalling this. Alright everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed the video, please give the video a big thumbs up. And if this is your first time stopping by, please consider subscribing. If you love everything related to Tacomas, help me grow the channel by sharing it with your friends and family on social media. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you in the next video.